Hey guys, I'm Mike Kinerick from Aviary Games, and this is my newest game, Crown of Exile. This video is intended to show you guys how to play for those of you who want a more in-depth understanding of what the actual mechanics are like. The video is going to cover a lot, but not 100% of everything that could possibly happen in a game. If you want that, you can check out the rulebook, which is downloadable probably right above or right below this video screen, and you can feel free to message me directly if you have additional questions. So without further ado, here's how you play Crown of Exile. In Crown of Exile, players play as nobles, each with a small domain, vying to restore order to their kingdom and seize control for themselves after the death of their king. Your goal in Crown of Exile is to be the noble with the most victory points at the end of the game. The main way you'll earn victory points is by completing and upkeeping quests that will increase your popularity, power, or influence in your kingdom. Quests cost resources to claim, and most cost resources to maintain every round after they've been claimed. But as long as you hold on to a quest, it will give you bonuses every round. You begin with a hand of cards that represents your domain. You'll play these cards on your turn to take various actions, generate, and use resources. As your domain grows, you'll add cards to your hand, giving you more and better options. Game is played over the course of 8 rounds. Each round, players will play domain cards, claim quests, pay upkeep, and earn victory points if they can. At the end of 8 rounds, the player with the most victory points is the winner. Each player has a player board where they will play their domain cards, a hand of 6 starting domain cards, and a counter on their player board indicating what their title is. You begin as a landed knight and can improve your title through play. Title determines how many victory points you'll earn at the end of each round, and gives you an additional bonus at the end of the game. It's improved by maintaining certain types of quests. Each player gets 2 house cards dealt to them face down. They look at both and select one, discarding the other. Then all players reveal the house they've selected, each one of which has its own special ability that will aid the noble throughout the game. You'll also have a set of cards laid out on the table. 4 quests will be face up and available to claim at any time, as will sets of domain cards in each of 5 suits. We'll get back to those later. For now, we'll jump right into gameplay to show you how it all works. At the beginning of every round, players will have all of their domain cards in their hands. The first player will begin the round by playing one of their domain cards into an open space on their player board with a suit that matches the card that they intend to play. For example, I'm playing my starting village card, which you can see is the same color and has a back that matches the space I'm playing it into. When I play that card, I immediately take the action it describes. In this case, I'm going to choose between generating food or spending food to take additional actions. Since I don't have food, I'll take some from the supply, and the next player will play a card, then the next, until it gets back to me. Note that I played this card into an empty space. Once I'm out of empty spaces, or cards that I can legally play, I'm done playing domain cards for the round, and my turn is skipped until all other players are also done for the round. To add cards to my domain, I can use my Construct card. The Construct card states that it can be played into any open space, so I'm going to play it into my army space. I'll construct a card from a pile of my choosing in the middle of the play area, whose type matches the space where I played my Construct card, so one of these piles. You'll also notice that these cards have symbols in the upper left-hand corner that indicate their tier. I can only construct from the Tier 2 pile if I have a Tier 1 card of that type, which I start with. And I can only construct from the Tier 3 pile if I have a Tier 2 card of that type. The back of the cards show their type and tier, so you can prove you have the cards without revealing them. To construct, pick up the top 3 cards from the appropriate pile, choose one, and tuck it under your construction card, and then return the rest to the bottom of the stack, revealing the new top card. At the end of the round, you'll pick up all of your domain cards, and will be able to use this card, but for now, it's under construction and doesn't do anything yet. Your Knight card can be used to claim quests. Like all cards with green borders, called family cards, you can play the Knight into any open space you have. The Knight allows you to claim one or more unclaimed quests in the center of the table by paying its claim cost, listed in the upper left-hand portion of the quest card. When you do this, return the resources needed to the supply, take the quest, and put it in front of your player board. Once you're done claiming quests, reveal new quests until there are 4 face up, then end your turn. As noted, the Knight is a family card with a green border. You can also construct family cards, which can be played into any open space and which allow you to treat a space of one type as though it were another type. For instance, the governor could be played into your army space to allow you to play a village card in that space instead of the normal army card. This way, you can specialize in a specific type of card if you so choose. Family cards can be constructed by playing the construct card into any space and do not have tier requirements. Sometimes, the conflict between the nobles in Crown of Exile boils over into open aggression. Attack cards allow you to directly affect your opponent and their resources, whether they like it or not. When you play a card with the attack option on it, it will give you the option to take a resource, indicated by the arrow symbol, or destroy a resource, indicated by the X. Attack cards allow you to either take these actions once for no additional cost, or, if you have a reserve of soldiers, allow you to spend soldiers according to the cost listed on the left side of the attack to attack multiple times. Note that if you choose to attack multiple times, you do not receive your first attack free, as you would if you had only attacked once. So, for example, I could play Raiders and expend no soldiers to take 3 food from my opponent. Or, if I wanted to make a larger attack and had a stockpile of soldiers, I could spend 3 soldiers, each one of which would steal 3 food, but then be exhausted in the process. Trading is the other main way to earn victory points in Crown of Exile, as well as acquiring new resources. When you play a card with a trade action on it, you may trade the resource on the left of the trade symbol and receive the resource on the right. Some cards have multiple trade options on them. You can trade any number of times as soon as you play a trade card, but you must announce your trade to the table. Other players can then accept your trades, which you cannot refuse. In this case, Corey is offering 4 gold for an influence, and Britt can either accept or reject that. She accepts, and they exchange. Corey is then trying to buy 1 soldier for 3 gold, but because Britt doesn't have one, he will automatically trade with the supply. At the end of the turn, once all trades have resolved, any players who traded with one another receive 1 victory point. So, because Britt and Corey traded with one another, they each get a victory point. At the end of each round, once all players have run out of cards that they can play legally, players must pay to keep their quests. The cost to do this is listed on the upper right-hand corner of each quest. Beginning with the first player, each player pays the costs to keep their quests, the ones they can afford, and loses any that they can't. They then determine their new title based on the number of crowns on their remaining quests. They then gain victory points and resource bonuses according to their title and any resource bonuses listed on their quests. Lost quests can be claimed by other players who are willing to pay their upkeep costs. But, if no one else claims it, the quest is discarded, and whoever lost the quest loses 2 victory points.